Oh, let me tell you something, Jim Ross, and you simple-minded people. I had a dream last night. Oh, yes, and it was a beautiful dream. I dreamed that I was on the front porch of the Double Cross Ranch, and my father, who's long since gone, was there in a swing, swinging with me. And up drove a long black limousine, and the left front fender was dented in, and the door opened, and out stepped a beautiful lady. And my daddy said, "Woman, what happened to your left front fender?" And she says, "I ran over some kind of an animal on the road. I don't know what it was." My daddy said, "Well, what did it look like?" And she says, "Well, it had great big ears, and it had nostrils, big, huge nostrils, about 5 inches apart. And it had horse teeth, and it smelled real bad." And my daddy said, "My world, girl, you must have ran over a jackass."
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard a snippet of the Terry Funk Beautiful Dream promo. It is a very, very sad time in the wrestling world because we are paying tribute to a legend, a literal legend in every sense of the word, GOAT, etc. Man, Brandon Tanguma is here with me today as we pay tribute to the Dirty Funker, the legendary Terry Funk. Brandon, how you doing today, man?
Well, Philip, I'm doing just as good as I can be. I got a big weekend ahead in wrestling, but unfortunately, it started off on a sad note with, as you said, the passing of the legendary Terry Funk. Kind of knew he was in bad health, but you always kind of thought he was going to kick out at two. He's going to get better, but I mean, you said it. He's a legendary figure, and we throw like goats and cliches of like there's never going to be another one, but like truly, there won't be another Terry Funk. He had such a legendary, interesting career. I mean, going back to the 70s, being in Texas, being, in the territories, then going into the 80s wrestling. Not only he was a opponent of Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, a legend in Japan with his brother Dory, and then a hardcore legend in Japan. Then he goes over to ECW. ECW might not be, probably won't be what it was if it wasn't for Terry Funk. Then obviously, goes back to the WWF, does the whole Chainsaw Charlie thing and the memes of never retiring, and Terry Funk, just absolute legend. And it sucks, but on days like today or yesterday, you can remember and watch some of his legendary stuff, and there's a lot of it.
Absolutely. I mean, he won the world title in the NWA World Championship in 1975, retired 42 years later in 2017 officially. I mean, unbelievable career. But you said with ECW, the only person to hold the ECW title in both stages of ECW. He defeated Jimmy Snuka when it was still Eastern Championship Wrestling. And then, I just watched the triple threat he was in where he won the ECW title when ECW was really ECW back in 97. I mean, they had the, his retirement match with Bret Hart in 97 when Bret was the WWF champion at the time. I mean, Terry Funk was a huge part of the Beyond the Mat film that we all have seen. And I mean, look, we live in a culture now where deathmatch wrestling is a thing. It is probably as hot as it's ever been. That doesn't happen without Terry Funk. That doesn't happen without him and Onita in the exploding barbed wire match in Japan in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff he was doing with Mick Foley in 95 and the barbed wire match that he had with Sabu, that famed match where Sabu splits his bicep open and he wraps it up to keep going. That match is with Terry Funk. I mean, just.
And I think that just kind of goes to show how evolutionary Terry Funk was. He always, he wasn't stuck in his ways. He was always able to adapt and do what he needed to do to be successful, get by. And, as I said, you see that from the 70s being the territory guy, going into the 80s being, even though he was facing Hulk Hogan on that Saturday night's main event, when he could have been just, a cartoony cowboy type, but he was still kind of Terry Funk. And then obviously, later 80s Ric Flair, WCW, NWA stuff.
89, yeah.
And then, obviously the deathmatch stuff is kind of what he's known for, I think, mostly now in like this kind of realm of wrestling fandom. But I mean, just all the different forms of Terry Funk. And I think he's just he's like the quintessential reason why I like wrestling. Just he makes it seem so real. He can talk a great game. When he wrestles. He was the complete package and a great person to boot. He was a great family man. He loved his daughters, his wife, and I mean, there's so many crazy stories of Terry Funk in the ring, but I haven't heard a bad story about him outside the ring.
Absolutely not. You never will. The tributes have poured in. I wrote something up. I hope I did him justice with my words. I wrote a career that spanned 5 decades that enthralled fans all across the globe, a true mastermind of the art form. All the different companies he worked for and runs he had is a body of work that has been and will continue to be studied for all eternity. Thank you, Funker. R.I.P. Terry Funk. I hope I did him justice with that. I mean, just look at the career longevity, and I've said this for a long time that Chris Jericho is the present day Terry Funk. All the different companies, all the different characters, etc. You know what I'm saying? I mean, another classic of his, the empty arena match. The empty arena match with Jerry Lawler. It worked so well. It spanned an empty arena match with The Rock and Mankind years later. Just in the Chainsaw Charlie stuff. And then, Terry Funk's going as hard as he did in 06 at ECW One Night Stand. Like just wild.
I think like maybe the last WWE appearance he made, he gave Dean Ambrose a chainsaw ahead of his WrestleMania match with Brock Lesnar.
Yes,
just like
yes.
The man was everywhere.
He was. He was. The impact will always be felt. I mean, WWE Hall of Fame, WCW Hall of Fame. He's a hardcore in the Hardcore Hall of Fame, NWA Hall of Fame. I mean, just the accolades that this man has are unprecedented. I mean, let's look at it. All Japan Pro Wrestling. He won the tag team league tournament 77, 79, 82 with his brother Dory. Cauliflower Alley. He was awarded in 05 championship wrestling from Florida, and he was a Florida heavyweight champion. He was a Florida tag champ, television champ, North American tag team champ, Southern heavyweight champ, ECW champ twice, television champ once. And of course, the big one, the NWA championship that he won back in 75. Pro Wrestling Illustrated said he had the feud of the year in 89 with Ric Flair. He was the most inspirational wrestler in 97. It was a wrestler of the year in 76. I mean, just a fantastic competitor. And all throughout this episode, we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of Terry Funk. We're going to sprinkle in some promos, man. Brandon, do you have a favorite Terry Funk promo or match or moment?
I mean, back in the day when we used to do the match pick and promo picks, I did like to do some Terry Funk ones, but the empty arena match, the promo, I think that one, and also kind of the promo that he does leading up to that, with him and Jerry Lawler, and talk about Memphis and everything. I just think that was like a prime Terry Funk, just talking his ish, and back being just a crazed lunatic. And so I would probably say like that Memphis stuff is just kind of that stands out to me personally. I haven't been able to go back and kind of look at some stuff recently, but that kind of is the one that stands out to me right now. And I would say the death match stuff. I mean, his famed match with Onita, the exploding barbed wire death match, which Moxley and Eddie Kingston tried to replicate, but unfortunately didn't happen in AEW. And so I would probably say those, the Memphis stuff and then the FMW stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, like the barbed wire match with Sabu sticks out. Like I just said, the Bret Hart match for the retirement show. Just so much stuff, man. Forever, when he's that promo where he's just bleeding and he's just yelling forever and ever. And shout out Baby Huey's brother Tommy, man. I mean, Tommy does a great Terry Funk. I'm sure this is hitting him hard. I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but Tommy does a great Terry Funk impersonation. Doing the forever promo, and I love it. I love it every time I hear it. But yeah, man, Terry Funk passed away at 79 years old. Unbelievable talent, unbelievable performer. There would literally never be another. Let's all celebrate Terry Funk. And I had to look back to make sure this was right. I wanted to get this on the show. When I interviewed Titus Alexander a couple years ago, I asked him what his favorite finisher was, and he said the spinning toe hold. of Terry Funk. Now Titus was 21 at the time. Think about that. Funk, his heyday was decades before Titus was alive and doing this. And for him to have an impact like that on somebody like Titus, who's at the top of his game now, it just speaks volumes. It really does. So shout out to the Dirty Funker, man. You will forever be missed.
And I said, what did it smell like? She said, it smelled like hairspray and cheap cologne. I said, woman, you didn't run over any jackass. You ran over Ric Flair. Is he dead? She says, no, but the last time I saw him, he was running scared. Well, let me tell you something, Ric Flair. You look at me in the eye because I am looking at you. You realize that you must live not in the future because there is none. You must live in the past. Give up that belt or I'll stick your neck out one more time for me. Stick it out for me, Flair. You gutless individual. I'm talking to you.
That's enough.
Stick it out. Stick it out.
We're not going to listen anymore to this, fans. We'll be back with the Steiners in just a moment.
Let's get into SmackDown. Edge has apparently had his last match, well, at least in Toronto. We don't know what the deal is yet. It was Edge's 25th anniversary celebration. They made a big deal about it. Wrestled Sheamus. Hell of a match. Beth Phoenix and Edge's daughters were front row for it. They kept cutting to them, so you really get the adrenaline and feel the emotion. Edge and Sheamus, they tore it up. What do you think of the match?
Really good match. No blood. I mean, there was, a little bit of bloodline stuff, but this show was pretty much just all about Edge in Toronto, in Canada. Who knows what his future is going to be like? And, talked about it last week, kind of a weird setup with him and Sheamus, but the match itself, as you'd expect, it was really good, hard hitting, dramatic, and, just as you said, the emotion of all of it. Edge, they said 25th anniversary of Edge, and there was a gap in between those years, but he's had a good career for now. We don't know what's going on. A lot of rumors and innuendo about contracts and maybe jumping ship. And he posted a video on Twitter today saying, don't believe what you see. I got a contract in the inbox right now, but I just don't know what I want to do with my life.
Thank you. Don't believe the sheets. Don't believe them. This is what I've been saying. But everybody wants to just believe him anyway. If it doesn't come from the person's mouth, we're not going to believe it.
Until he turns up in Wembley on Sunday.
Nah, we don't need to do that. What would his name be? What would he walk out to? No.
I was hoping he comes out to the Rob Zombie song. I know everyone loves his current theme, but the Rob Zombie one.
What would his name be? What? No, don't even try to be funny. No,
I'm just trying to think of what's a weird way to spell Edge without it spelling Edge.
No, don't even do that. It just wouldn't work.
What was his indie name? Was it Colin Sexton? Something Sexton?
Sexton Hardcastle? No.
There you go.
No. If this was it, how do you top it? You know what I'm saying? But there's still more for Edge to do. There's still more stories to be told. I'm a proponent of him feuding with Cody when Cody's done with his Judgment Day stuff. I heard Sam Roberts talk about it, and it makes sense, Cody comes back, talks about finishing his story. Edge had a story to finish, too. He had to retire as world champion. He didn't go out the way he wanted to. That's a money feud right there. Hell, can we get one more Edge John Cena match? There's still things to do here.
Just as long as we don't get heel Judgment Day Edge, but that can just
heel Judgment Day Edge those are some of the best promos we've had in recent memory. Mountain of Omnipotence, are you kidding me? Come on. Using that higher IQ to talk down to the peasants. Love it. You know what? We got Brood Edge, we've gotten that. We've got 2010 rated R superstar Edge, the guy that came back and won the Rumble and all that stuff. The ultimate opportunist, the master manipulator. We haven't really gotten a tribute to that Edge. I think we need that.
How about just silent sitting in the subway.
No, no,
Edge.
no, 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 no. We don't.
Sable's tag partner Edge.
We don't need that. We need that Edge, the master manipulator, the ultimate opportunist, the guy that lost the WWE title in one elimination chamber and then walked into another one later that night and became the world heavyweight champion. We need that Edge. We need to see that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm here for
He doesn't know what we're gonna see next.
He doesn't
But he
know.
does know for everyone to go watch Percy Jackson or whatever show he's doing.
Yes. Go watch that. Austin Theory defeats LA Knight. Yeah. Because of interference of the Miz. LA Knight laughed it off. Austin Theory gets a rematch for the United States title.
Theory actually getting a win on television. Good for him. As you said, Miz gets involved, so and LA Knight kind of shrugged it off. So it didn't really mean much, and I think that just kind of shows. And I don't know what that means for Theory of just like they given him this non-meaningful win. If they have any plans for him, like at all, because I would presume he's not winning next week. And do you think they're slow playing like the El Phantasmo feud with Ray, or is it going to be just like that? He snaps, and he turns on Ray, and he's jealous of him because he took his spot. Or how long do you think they play this out?
I'm not sure. What's after Payback?
Let's see, we're in September now, so then that means we need to go to October. Usually that'd be Hell in a Cell, but they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah,
it's Fastlane.
Fastlane. Yeah, I say we do it at Fastlane. Why not? I say we do it there. I say we do it there.
Ray comes out in some spooky Halloween type getup.
No.
Maybe he can fit into the Halloween Havoc 97 stuff. I don't think he can fit into that. He's a little thicker boy.
I mean, he can just get it altered, or just get a new updated version.
Nah, Aaliyah gave him that for his whatever it was 30th, 20th anniversary thing. So and he's never seen it before. He lost it. Remember?
Well, yeah, these guys. I mean, a lot of these guys don't be having all their stuff. We know this. We've seen Hidden Treasure.
Even though I did watch Hidden Treasure, and they had a Ray and Eddie one, and Ray pretty much had like all of his stuff. Now, was it organized and he knew everything was? No, but he had a lot of stuff.
I see.
Bring back Top Dollar to host that show. He was good.
Shout out Top Dollar, my homie. Shout out AJ, my dog. Yeet. Street Profits get a big win over the OC. People are saying Angelo Dawkins needs to change the gear. Is that true? Does he just need to wear the pants, the long tights, like Montez?
Maybe. I mean, with the new look, I don't know if the basketball shorts and all that get up really fits his more adult, more serious tone they're going for. But it's relatively quick. Who knows how long this idea has been in the works, and trying to get a fit in or trying to make some sort of attire can be difficult.
It can be difficult. You are right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what's going on. All right, outside of the ring, apparently WrestleMania 40 has sold 90,000 tickets. Apparently now this is the highest grossing WrestleMania of all time, and it hasn't even happened yet. They've shattered the 39 record they had in Los Angeles earlier this year. Shout out WrestleMania in Philly. You've seen like Gunther, who else? Grayson Waller, Cody Rhodes. They've all appeared in Philly at the stadium. So this is going to be something special, man. I can't wait. Brandon.
I mean, it's a big number. It shows what
we have. I think we need to be there. It's going to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time.
Maybe, maybe we go to Philadelphia, and this time we actually go into the arena, or we actually go in the stadium this time.
Yeah, yes. I mean, didn't get to go, but I became we all know what happened.
Mm-hmm,
Hello.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, it's a big deal for WrestleMania. WWE continues to grow financially. Could go on a tirade about inflation and how about WWE is just raising the prices, and that's why it's so expensive. I mean, how is a WrestleMania in Philly in an older stadium grossing more than by a day of ticket sales? Yeah,
dude, I heard somebody paid like $23,000 for a ticket to Wembley. So things are going on. Things are going on here.
Things are crazy. Oh,
Yes.
because I went to WrestleMania. Was that 2015? WrestleMania 31. I forget exactly how much. I relatively close. I paid like maybe $500-600 a ticket, and I don't even know where. I'd probably be like in the second level, or maybe even the nosebleeds if I bought that same price ticket at a WrestleMania this year.
That is a possibility. But shout out WrestleMania doing big numbers. The biggest show does the biggest numbers. You heard me? You heard me, Khan? I said it. All right. John Cena will be returning this Friday. Or is it next Friday? It's next Friday, right?
The first.
The first, yes. On September 1st. It's a Big Toko's birthday. Shout out. Oh yeah, so they said he's gonna be at the Superstar Spectacle, the India show. But I wonder what Cena's gonna talk about. I wonder who he's gonna face. We shall wait and see. OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling. We all know this, right? We all know the OVW, right? Where a lot of the big stars.
I've heard of it. I mean, I heard of them like 20 years ago for the most part, but
yeah, no,
they're still kicking.
They're still going. I've seen some stuff. They do have a good product. Or they're kind of like reality of wrestling. Anyway, Al Snow runs it. They are going to be on Netflix. They have a little show going on. It's going to happen on the 13th of September. I'm interested to see what's going on with that.
It has been clowned a little bit on Twitter, this past week when the trailer dropped. People kind of question of how big OVW really is, outside of that early 2000s class with, Batista, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Shawn Benjamin, all those guys. They, as you said, they've had some good shows and some good talent come through there. They were part of TNA Impact, later on after WWE. But the one thing that did pop me was like, I forget exactly what the line was, but it was like, one of the biggest, most influential stars in wrestling history, Al Snow. I mean, love Al Snow to death, but
are you? Well, I
mean, a little hyper.
What does everybody want? What does everybody need? Come on, man. Still doing it. We're still doing it till this day. We're still doing it.
Everybody wants Ed. Everybody needs Ed.
I was gonna say money. I wasn't only.
Oh, sorry. What are we talking about?
Kurt Angle has a documentary airing on Peacock September 2nd. So that's gonna be interesting. We'll watch that. We'll recap that. Love these docs, man. Love a good doc. I'm a doc guy. Doc and biopics, love them.
More intrigued by the Angle documentary. Obviously, WWE Peacock. It's gonna have its own little spin on things. Who knows how much? I would think they're not. I mean, they're probably gonna like acknowledge Impact. They're probably not gonna go too deep into it. They're probably just gonna focus more on like the drug stuff of that time.
You have to. He's wrestled there longer than WWE. Of course, they're gonna talk about it.
I mean, just like they talked about AEW with Cody Rhodes.
My guy, like they're mentioning Stardom on commentary now. Like they're gonna talk about it. Like this isn't 10 years ago in WWE, or you just don't acknowledge it ever. I mean, what was the first time another company was acknowledged? Like,
I need to see all the Perk Angle compilation videos on this Angle documentary.
They're not gonna.
I need all the Perk Angle videos.
They're not gonna do that. Kurt Angle will be at Lodi Con on September 20th. Go meet the Olympic gold medalist. We might be there. You never know. Huh? You never know. Cash Wheeler aggravated assault. So this broke after we recorded. Yeah.
I mean, just a crazy story that just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was aggravated assault with the firearm. Seemed like some sort of road rage incident. I don't know like the complete details of it, but obviously he's going to be wrestling in Wembley this weekend. So, get to the predictions and see how we think this affects that. But not a good look. I forget exactly what state is it. North, South Carolina, or Florida. I think he lives in the South. I think so. Something like that. No priors. It shouldn't affect him too much in terms of jail time or he's not Jeff Hardy. We'll just say that. So I think he'll be fine.
Hey.
Just in terms of Jeff Hardy has had his past, so he
was doing all right until he left WWE. I'll say that. I'll say it. I'll say it here. He was doing cool until he left. Yeah. I don't
Tony
think they have,
Khan's out here breeding.
I don't think they have a drug and wellness policy over on TNT and TBS, brother.
That's why all those wrestlers are going to WCW back in the day. Just
See,
saying.
Vince was looking out for everybody. You know, you talk about how
What a great
terrible
guy
he
Vince
is.
McMahon is.
Yeah,
What a great
like
guy.
come on, man. He was looking out for everybody. Man, Seth Rollins has 2 fractures in his lumbar spine. He's been dealing with it since 2019, 4 years ago, and he's been performing at an incredible level. You tape it up and go.
So has this been confirmed?
Yes, he said it.
He said it. He said it on Raw, so it's real.
He said it in the Logan Paul interview. Like this isn't new information. Like,
why are we talking about it?
Well, we're talking about it because now it's a part of the storyline.
Oh, okay, got it.
I mean, we mentioned it when we talked about the Logan Paul gimmick. You know,
I like to live in the present. I can't remember anything. And too many concussions. But I mean, shout out Seth Rollins. I mean, continuing to work through that. I don't know what the surgery or if he were to get it fixed, how long the recovery, if there is a possible recovery from that. So, we've seen that maybe Seth has kind of slowed or changed up his style a little bit, probably for the better. Because if you look at those early Seth Rollins / Tyler Black matches, I mean, just crazy.
If you look at those 2012, 2013 Shield matches, or when Seth was wrestling Daniel Bryan on Raw for like 2 or 3 segments, fantastic stuff. Fantastic. Inside the ring, NXT Heatwave happened. Wes Lee and Carmelo Hayes, goddamn. They tore it up, man. They tore it up. Braun Breaker almost killed Von Wagner with a spear. Apparently, Braun thinks he has the best spear in the business. It's impactful, sure. But Wes Lee and Carmelo Hayes, you see this? What do you think, man?
Really good match. 2 of the top workers, 2 of the top wrestlers in NXT. So no surprise.
Before you continue, I will say this. First ever main event between 2 black men for the NXT championship.
There you go. Progress. I mean, as I said, really good match. NXT kind of reliant on the main roster people with, Dom and Rhea coming in, or Rey Mysterio. But they are very kind of top loaded, where they have a lot of good top tier talent. They can't really fill out, that middle lower card with the same talent they had back in the black and gold era. But when they push comes to shove and they can put together 2 of those people to have a type of match they had on Tuesday, it can deliver.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You see anything else from Heatwave?
I have, Rhea Ripley had a match. I know Dana Brooke is doing some things. She's turning heel, so it's about damn time. Good for her.
I mean, she hasn't been heel since 20, or when she was with Charlotte Flair. What was it, 2016? Yeah. Titus Worldwide, that was the thing. I don't know why that stopped. Well, they were doing some things. They were doing things that I liked, and
I know the internet did like Dana Brooke and her Titus Worldwide attire.
Yes,
very smart woman.
Yes. Of course.
Yep.
What was this, a press release?
Respectfully, of course. Oh, also because of Twitter, I did see that Ava Raine had her first real singles match on NXT.
Yes, she did.
Mm-hmm. With all due respect.
Yeah. That's my man. What's up, bro?
Understand me out there. I'm a legend, and I'm always going to be remembered as a legend. And as long as Jerry Lawler is around and has a silly victory over me, I'll never quit. I'll die in that ring before I quit. I want a rematch with that Bob Barker looking fool. Have you seen how his eyes are drawn back and his lips are pushed out like a soul? He looks like Bob Barker on a bottle of Ensure, pumped up and fat on Ensure. Now get the hell out of my way.
Yes. All right, let's go to the fan mail. We have fan mail this week. We have quite a bit.
I'd love to see it.
Love to see it. All right. Oh no, this is from that's when that guy fantasy booked the Shield coming back together. Nigerian Prince. Oh, this is funny. Oh, you Phil Fatu for real. How was it meeting the fam, bro?
Acknowledge him.
Yeah, that happened. I met Solo and Jey Uso. Shout out. Notice they weren't in the same picture.
Surprised he wasn't in that family reunion photo with Trinity.
Notice they weren't in the same picture together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was brief, it happened. I don't know. I don't know what people want me to say. I don't know what people want me to say about it. What was your reaction when you saw that?
I mean, you didn't smarten me up. I didn't know what you were doing or how you got there, so it just popped up on my Instagram and was like, "Oh, this dude's out here with the bloodline for real." And I'm like, "Good for him."
Y'all thought I was playing about this seat. Now it wasn't planned. It just happened. It was quick. It was brief. Cool dudes. Very chill. Nothing more to say about it.
Could you get Solo Sikoa back on Curveballs and Chair Shots? No, okay.
I mean, if he's gonna do a podcast,
all time back fumble right there.
If he's gonna do a podcast, I mean, no, but it was cool, man. It was chill, very, very, very chill dudes. Yeah, that photo has kind of gone everywhere, and with me, Juice, and Uso, and then with Jacob and Uso, I've kind of seen this on all these different sites and whatnot. And I've gotten many random follows, and I'm like, oh wow, it makes the numbers look nice, but I'm just like, okay, it's kind of time to move on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying?
You getting followed by WWE Roman fan 21750.
I'm getting. You want to hear some of these names? Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's see. There's. Ray. There's that one.
Thank you, Elon, for turning Twitter into this just lovely platform for.
Oh no, this is Instagram. It's not Twitter. It's Instagram.
Oh, Instagram. All right. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, for turning Instagram into this beautiful social media platform.
Let's see. Jose and Amari 44356. Let's see what
Shot at.
Okay, no, this is actually a real person. All right. I'm scrolling through. The names don't seem that ridiculous, honestly. But yeah. There's C.XL3B05. There's that one. No Hops 11. Nothing too crazy. I'm just shouting out all these people's Instagrams. Go follow them if you want to. But yeah, like I haven't gotten any of like those like the Roman fan thing that you said. I haven't gotten any of those, or not that I know. I haven't really checked. But yeah, it's whatever, man. Who 420?
Who?
Mates, I love that Shinsuke is getting this opportunity. Do they pull the trigger? Why not? Nah, but
I don't know if they pull the trigger,
I don't
but
think it's gonna happen. No,
I do like the Shinsuke that they've done. I mean, talked about it last week because it's so hard just to have a Japanese Mexican wrestler just speak in their native language and have subtitles. Not that hard.
Robert Walker. Philip saw the photo. Congrats on that. But where does the family drama go from here? Any hints? Stay tuned to Fox to find out, brother. Jack of all trades. Is it really a possibility for Edge to go to AEW? He doesn't own the name. Would his presentation be? What song would he use? I don't believe he's going there.
The Rob Zombie one.
No, he's not going there. We don't have to worry about that. Dan, what match are you most looking forward to at All In? We'll talk about that once we get there. We have Instagram DMs also because he's back.
Mr. X, Hall of Fame.
Rest in peace to the legend that is Terry Funk. Yes, indubitably. Do you think there's an actual chance for Shinsuke Nakamura will beat Seth for the world title? We just talked about that. Is it a good idea for AEW to have pay-per-views so close together like this? WWE did it.
But was
But then-
WWE charging you $50 back-to-back weeks?
No, because that's why WWE's the GOAT at this stuff. That's why they can do that. I mean, it was just the 3-year anniversary of that SummerSlam, yesterday? And then what, 6 days from now, it's going to be the 3-year anniversary of Roman Reigns as the champ. Great stuff. Great stuff. But yeah, no, they should have some kind of bundle deal. I don't know why they're not doing that.
Yeah, I wish they
or
had
at
some.
least cut them in half. So you spend 50 total, like 25 for one, 25 for the other.
Or 2 for 75. I would love to just understand the reasoning behind all this. Tony Khan's not going to talk about that because he just doesn't answer any questions pretty much. But we've gone over, maybe they could have done a Max streaming thing. You could have put this on CBS or whatever, like an affiliate of Time Warner, and like put this on for the US audience for free or something like that, to then have All Out be paid for.
Bro, what time is this even happening? What time is this
It's
show?
happening true time, 10 o'clock West Pacific time, 9 a.m. for the pre-show, the 0 hour, which is something you have to watch now because it has that tag team title match, which presumably would factor into the main event somewhat, if not a lot.
Oh, Jesus. He also asked, what do you think will be the best match at All In this Sunday? We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see, brother. All right, let's get into it. Monday Night Raw, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and a returning Kevin Owens. Deafening pop. But not, I mean, was Elliot's pop louder than Kevin Owens?
It's a little bit time ago. I can't remember, but I probably would go with Kevin Owens' pop was better.
Yeah,
both of them were okay for a Canadian crowd.
Canadian crowds are fantastic. They're back in Quebec. Yep. So they good guys beat the Judgment Day. Shout out KO, he's back. Good stuff. Cody Rhodes had a promo, just roasting JD McDonough.
Yeah, tough night for old JD, but just another similar type of match of Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes taking on the Judgment Day, which we've kind of seen a lot recently, which getting kind of repetitive. For the TV audience, it's nothing special, but obviously for like the in-person crowd, it's fun to see. So, Raw spinning their wheels, I would say a little bit in the main event scene, but there's some, maybe not main event scene because the world title's new and stuff like that, but kind of like, last match on the card on Raw is kind of getting repetitive.
I mean, they're the biggest stars, so why wouldn't they be the last match on the card?
Well, I'm just saying when you do like the same type of tag match just over and over and over, get it in different types of.
Do you not know how many times we saw 6-man tags with the Shield?
And they were all great.
Okay, so these aren't great. Wow.
I mean, they're okay.
Wow.
Dominic Mysterio.
Have you ever been in a 6-man tag? How do you know they're just okay?
Well, I mean, I was in a 6-man. That's a different story for a different podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rollins vows to keep the world title. Just kind of reiterating what we talked about, his fracture in his spine, and Nakamura talked about his wife and his baby. So now Seth is gonna curb stomp him to hell.
Like this Seth more than laughing, cackling Seth. So
I don't know, man.
That.
The Seth Rollins that feuded with Edge, that's Seth Rollins. That was playing the mind games with Roman when he wore the Shield gear and came out to the Shield music at that Royal Rumble. I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. Anyway, Gunther takes first main roster loss via count out. Chad Gable took it to him. Great German suplex over the barricade. I was like, oh my goodness, look at the way he landed. So yeah, I mean, he won. There's your thing. He won. That's what you wanted, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, did we not go, post-production meeting last week, when some guy, the other guy was on the show as well, we were talking about it, and he asked me, how do you see this playing out? Because I'm leading the charge right now of Chad Gable, and I've noticed over the past week or two, more people are joining on my bandwagon. There's still room, Phillip, if you want to jump on. But as we said, Payback still in a few weeks. I would presume we're going to get a rematch. Technically, Gunther's whatever record break would happen maybe a week or a few days after that. So Still a possibility.
Don't
Still saying
do
it's going to
all
happen.
this work to just have it end before. That makes zero sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. Now, Gunther suffering a loss like this, he can still become even more vicious. We can still do that while he's still the Intercontinental Champion. Like Chad Gable, I feel like they need to do a little bit more for him to beat him. He needs to get. I mean, he's over. Don't get me wrong, but he needs to get a little bit more over for him to beat Gunther.
I think we're almost in that Roman Reigns territory right now. If we're just looking at the perfect person, and sometimes maybe that perfect person isn't there. Cody Rhodes might not be the perfect person, a little up there in age, kind of established already, but I think he's by far the best person. I think at his current spot right now, Chad Gable, best person available. That's not very tippy top main event,
What's LA
Sami
Knight
Zayn.
doing? What did I pitch to you the other week, man? Once he's done with the Miz, he can go on to Fastlane.
Well, he's a SmackDown superstar, so he shouldn't even be on Raw because there's a brand split.
Well, hey, if Michael Cole could be on both shows, why can't he?
Well, he's not on the WWE roster.
I don't want to hear
he's
it.
a part
I don't
of
want to
it. He's
hear
a
it.
commentator.
Hey, you know what?
And there is an official.
Let me talk to you. LA Knight goes to Fastlane. He defeats the Ring General, and everybody's going to be saying, here is your new Intercontinental Champion, LA Knight. Yeah. See what you made me do? Do you see what you made me do? I can't even hear you. I can't hear you at all.
I turned to an LA Knight.
Jesus, man. I don't know why you had to. I don't know why you made. Oh, man, jeez. Raquel Rodriguez is gonna face Rhea Ripley at Payback for the WWE Women's World Championship.
Well, it's about time Rhea Ripley has a title defense on a pay-per-view, so that's good.
Hey, you leave mommy alone.
Not the biggest fan of Candice LeRae just losing in a minute in a squash match.
It's Rhea Ripley. Like, what?
I get it, but we've talked about how deep that women's division is or lack thereof. And I'm not saying, push Candice LeRae to the moon, have her main event WrestleMania or anything like that, but she's just one of those people that doesn't get a lot of opportunities. You bring her out, she loses to Rhea Ripley in a minute, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see her in like 2-3 months and she's challenging Rhea Ripley for the championship. We're just gonna be like, okay, who cares? She destroyed her already. Why should I believe she's gonna win this time?
Hey.
I am one of the few people on this planet who own a Candice LeRae pint-sized pixie T-shirt, and
Yes,
Johnny Gargano knows that.
We know you're over with Johnny. We know.
Where is Johnny? Tommaso Ciampa is leading the brigade to find that man.
Well,
he was apparently, I heard he was at the Philadelphia Eagles game, and WWE ain't even showing him. He was there. You would know that.
Well, if Candice is on wrestling on television, I would hope he's with their daughter.
Well,
I'm just saying, brother.
Maybe grandma, grandpa's taking care of them. Maybe they have a sitter. I don't know. What is Seth and Becky doing? Seth and Becky were always on Raw together. They're just leaving the baby alone on the bus. I don't think that's right.
Well, they're on TV at different times, so I'm sure one of them is with it or with their child, and then boom, they go out, and then they come back and swap. Tag in, boom, hot tag. Yeah.
So should keep Seth's baby's name out of our mouth because he'll come first.
Well, no, I'm not. We're not speaking negatively about. We're just.
I mean, we're questioning their parenting abilities.
You're questioning.
I think we are.
No, don't put that on me. You are. That is you, not me.
I'm questioning Seth's parenting abilities. Becky is a lovely mother.
If we ever meet Seth, I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to bring this up. You're still owed a receipt for the Cody Rhodes.
And then I'll just hit him in the back, and his spine will evaporate.
Seth Rollins will beat you up.
Maybe he'll fill in for you because you keep ducking me in this wrestling match, Philip.
I'm not.
Maybe.
Come on down to the dojo and get this work in.
I thought we were supposed to do an amateur match.
Wait, what? We can hold a Shooter's Cup.
All right.
I'm the champ. Undefeated, baby.
Well, just because you're
I'm
0-0
Bruno in
doesn't
that
mean you're undefeated.
man. I'm Bruno in that thing, man. There's no challenger worth facing me. There's nobody that's going to dethrone me in the Shooter's Cup. So if you really want to step up to the plate, if you really think you got what it takes to beat the microphone messiah, then come on.
I mean, I was down to clown and then someone had a shot at their ankle.
I didn't have to. It happened. It's part of my journey. It's gonna be in my doc that they're gonna put on Peacock.
Your doc on the cock?
No. My documentary on NBC Universal Peacock, baby. Let's talk about all in now. Let's get to the predictions.
Okay.
So, the Bulletcast Championship is on the line. The champion's not here, but the title's on the line. When are you cashing in, man? Do we know? Do you have a hint?
Maybe used to be the Japanese guy. Maybe I'll peruse some Japanese cards, or maybe an indie show here or there. Maybe. Let's see. I'll guarantee before Royal Rumble. Okay, I'll use it.
You got September, October, November. You have like 4 months. Right?
I got a little bit of time.
Got a little bit of time. Aussie Open defend the Ring of Honor tag team titles against MJF and Adam Cole. I'm going. I don't see. Would they really do it? Would they really do this? I mean, I wouldn't put it past Tony Khan.
What is this?
Having MJF and Adam Cole be the Ring of Honor tag team champions? Because, I mean, like, MJF's whole thing is like, he feels like Ring of Honor is beneath him. You know what I'm saying?
So I very much enjoyed what they did yesterday on Dynamite, building up this match, because there was no kooky off-site shenanigans like there usually is. They try to clean up Adam Cole teasing a turn on MJF last week, and they're all but telling you Adam Cole is turning heel on MJF. Now, is that happening on the pre-show, or is that happening in the main event? I don't know. Now, do they win the titles and then he turns? Do they not win the titles and he turns? I think they win the tag titles. We're going to get Adam Cole turn regardless, maybe in the match itself, or in the singles match in the main event. But I think we're going to have some sort of thing where they are they're the champions together. They have the match. Cole turns. They hate each other, but yet they're still tag team champions.
Okay.
And I could also see them telling a story of Adam Cole not really wrestling this match much, and it's mostly MJF.
I'll go Aussie Open just to be different.
What a guy.
I know, right? What a guy. Jack Perry versus Hook for the FTW title. I'm going Jack Perry.
I'll go with Hook. On the thing it doesn't say like FTW rules, but
no, it doesn't. It does not.
I mean, they spoiler alert, they booked this on Collision, so we'll see exactly what happened. But All right. I'll just have Hook win. I like the idea of just the FTW title being retired, so it's a one less championship on AEW TV, but
it's like if Zack Ryder were it's like if the internet title were actually a thing back in WWE. That's basically what this is. It's like $1 million title. Like it's a thing that's happening, but
I make it more than $1 million title just because it has more TV cachet and history behind it.
Yeah, it's that's what that is.
But and that's the other thing is like, how far can they go with it? Like, are they going to trot out? Is Jerry Lynn going to come out of retirement to have a match? Is Tommy Dreamer wrestling? Are they going to go down the ECW path? That I don't think we need that in the year of our Lord 2023.
Too many companies have gone down the ECW path. We don't.
I mean, TNA has ran that thing into the ground with ECW reunions and ECW storylines. We do not need AEW doing that.
TNA ruined it. It's their fault.
It's all their fault.
FTR.
That's Vince's fault.
FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash the Glock Wheeler defend the AEW tag titles against the Young Bucks. Do we go Matt and Nick Jackson?
So I think a lot of people are just presuming the Young Bucks win this match because of the Cash Wheeler incident.
I'm gonna go FTR,
but I'm gonna go FTR as well. I like the Young Bucks. They get it done in the ring, but just everything else is kind of just a cluster. And FTR is doing like really good work on Collision and the rare times they're on Dynamite. So I get it. Maybe you use this as discipline or consequences for actions, but I say you keep it FTR.
There are no consequences for actions in AEW.
Exactly. You can do whatever you want.
Hikaru Shida in a fatal four-way defends the AEW Women's World Title against Toni Storm, Saraya, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Britt Baker was in the original Women's four-way at All In, so it's nice to see her back. I'm gonna go Saraya. It's London and all that other stuff.
It is London, and probably best idea for Saraya to be hidden in a fatal four-way match at this point of her career. I do like Shida. She's not utilized all that often in the past, and I appreciate she's champion now. But give me Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, for the win. New champion, possibly teasing what maybe aligns with somebody later on in the show.
All right, Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage in a coffin match.
I mean, when Christian Cage had the opportunity of desecrating some wrestler's dead father, he jumped all over that opportunity.
He was like, I heard you had a father, and he's dead.
Oh. And the widow's in the front row. I mean, just surprised Christian Cage was able to keep himself together.
All right, I'm going Darby and Sting.
Agree. Darby and Sting for the win. Allegedly, there's something where AR Fox can't make it out to London, so that's why they had to make this last minute thing. And also, I don't think Edge is showing up.
No,
just put it out there.
He's not. No.
Well, I mean, before this happened, before Dynamite, the Edge stuff was going on. It's like, oh, maybe Christian cuts a promo and just heals on the crowd, and then Edge comes out and they do something together. But now that Edge is or Christian's in a match, I don't think that's gonna happen.
What?
It's definitely not gonna happen.
There are too many matches.
Save it for All Out.
There are too many matches on this damn show. The Golden Elite go up against Bullet Club Gold. I'm going Golden Elite.
Yeah, I agree.
That there are two matches, yeah.
Well, that too, kind of. But it's kind of a weird build of Kenny Omega, Don Callis, isn't really a thing right now. It's mainly Don Callis and Chris Jericho at this point. And you thought, heading into and coming out of Blood and Guts, Kenny Omega and Takeshita would have been a solid singles match to have at All In. And yet, no, there's just a lot of tag team matches, and we're going through it right now. This almost kind of seems like a New Japan card of there's a few singles matches on top, and whether you or not you believe those are adequate enough is a fair critique, but everything else is kind of filled out with tag team matches and multi-person matches.
Yeah. So we're both going Golden Elite?
Yes, sir.
There's a stadium stampede. Oh, Jesus.
I mean, this was booked last week, Phillip, and then Ray Phoenix can't get out of the country because he's trying to become a legal citizen, and it's a whole thing. So then he got crowbarred, and now it's a 6-man tag. It's a 10-man tag, and
all right. So Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, and the Best Friends, along with Penta El Zero Miedo, go up against the Blackpool Combat Club. Give it to the Blackpool Combat Club. BCC, baby! With Santana and Ortiz.
And I see Phillip's been keeping up on the AEW train.
After last week, that stuff was terrible, so I haven't.
I will go. I agree. I'll go with the Blackpool Combat Club. I'm kind of worried on how they're going to shoot this, because I would presume they're going to do some pre-tapes, some live stuff, and an AEW production in a stadium with 85, maybe 90,000 people in a venue, trying to track 10 people around. I don't know how they're going to do that, but Godspeed. But I will give it to the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah. All right. Will Ospreay with Don Callis versus Le Champion Chris Jericho, the Ocho, the Wizard. I'm a wizard, baby. Yeah. Mm. I'm gonna go Chris Jericho.
And I will go with Will Ospreay. Maybe we see the turn of Sammy Guevara on Chris Jericho. He joins up with Don Callis. But even if that doesn't happen, I think you do have Will Ospreay win this match. I really did enjoy the promo Will cut yesterday, looking like a proper Jody Wanka, just saying bruv like every other word, and talking about how much this match means to him. So he, in the story, he's kind of like a hired gun, but I think that's what he should be in this match. And just have Will Ospreay win, and Chris Jericho will be perfectly fine after this. He's gonna sing. He's gonna do his band is playing at Wembley Stadium. I think that's enough for him.
The Real World's Championship, CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. I got CM Punk.
Agreed. CM Punk for the win. Should be interesting. These guys running it back at Wembley Stadium. Their first match on Collision was okay. I do worry that they might get a little too ambitious with it, but the crowd reaction should be very interesting. How 85,000 British people react to CM Punk.
Yes, that should be funny. All right, trios tag action for the titles: House of Black versus the Acclaimed with Daddy Ass. I'm going the Acclaimed.
It's not Daddy Ass. It's Badass Billy Gunn.
I'm going the Acclaimed and Badass Billy Gunn.
Agreed. I'll go with the Acclaim and Billy Gunn for the win. New tag team champions. I have a lot of championship title changes on here, but I'm running with it. Hopefully that means maybe House of Black not break up per se, but they can kind of go and do their own thing, not as a full trio. So give the Acclaimed some gold and Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass. I don't know, was he ever badass in AEW?
No, not
he was just like Billy Gunn, pretty much.
He was Daddy Ass. He'll always be Daddy Ass.
But he said he's going to get quote unquote serious, but badass Billy Gunn isn't serious. I guess badass Billy Gunn is serious, not Mr. S. So
the one Billy Gunn, King of the Ring winner. Huh? All right, lastly, it is the AW World Title. Maxwell Jacob Friedman defends against Adam Cole, baby. I got MJF for the retention.
And I got Adam Cole turned on MJF, becoming the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And then we run it back. This is the other thing of just what makes All Out and All In so complicated, of just back to back, of how do you book it? Because presumably,
why didn't he just do All Out in Wembley Stadium?
I don't know. I mean, or you move All Out, or you can move All Out later in the month, or but this is what Tony Khan likes to do. He likes to always have Memorial Day weekend in Vegas, Labor Day week in Chicago. I would like them to maybe move it around, because especially for Vegas, as someone who went to a show 2 years ago, didn't go to this year's show, it is expensive to go to Las Vegas on Memorial Day. And I would presume it's probably the same thing for Chicago. Try to travel to Chicago on Labor Day gets kind of expensive if you're trying to tap into that hardest of hardcore fans. Move it around to late September, middle September.
Philly.
Or you move to Philly. I don't know, but
markets, man.
I'm going with Adam Cole for the win. And going back to the email, those questions of, favorite match, best match. I will say the match I'm looking forward to the most would be this Adam Cole MJF thing. It should be a really good technical match, but also just, I think, the story, as I've had my qualms with it. But I think they built, as I said, I think they built it up pretty good on Wednesday to get me intrigued. And they're leaning so far in the Adam Cole turn direction that maybe they swerve you or maybe they do something else. But I think they're telling a good story, and with the logical ending of Adam Cole turning best match, if everyone's healthy, Young Bucks FTR. I'm saying that's gonna be the best match.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for us here on the Bulletcast this week. Thank you guys very much. So this is Sunday. You free Sunday? What do you do?
Well, because this is at 10 o'clock in the morning, I got Los Padres at the same exact time. So I don't exactly know. Well, I will watch it on Sunday.
Monday?
So maybe
you free Monday? Recap Monday?
If we're gonna do planning, I'd rather it be Sunday night than Monday, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. There will be a recap of AEW All In, ladies and gentlemen, before we come back with a regular episode of the BC. Thank you guys so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous. Yes, sir.
Forever!